Hey, what's up guys? Brian from Zombie Guitar here. Here in this lesson I want to give you a new pattern that you might want to try out if you are kind of stuck playing in pentatonic position number 1. So what I mean by that is this familiar pattern that we all know and love. Alright, so if you're kind of stuck playing there and you're looking for new things to do or new ideas on how to break out of that, check this out. Alright, so the demo that was in the beginning was in the key of A minor. So let's first locate our A minor pentatonic scale in position number 1. So you do that by taking your first finger and you locate your scale root, which is A. A is the scale root of the key of A minor. So you use your first finger, find the note A on the low E string, which is found right here on the 5th fret. So this is your pentatonic position number 1. And then if you wanted to add in your remaining diatonic notes to make the full A natural minor scale, you would do like so. Then you can add in these notes too. Alright, so that's your pentatonic position number 1. That's probably the area that you're familiar with, and that's what we're looking to break out of in this lesson. So let's jump to this, what I refer to this in all of my courses on my website as the 3-note per string pattern. Technically, you can play any diatonic scale pattern in a 3-note per string manner, but I just call this the 3-note per string pattern because it's very, very easy to remember, and you'll see why in a second. So we locate this new pattern with your pinky finger. You locate your root note, which is A, and you locate it on the A string, and you use your pinky to find that note. So that would be, your A would be found here on the 12th fret of the A string. You put your pinky there, and then that's how you find this particular pattern. So as you can see, this pattern is pretty easy to remember because the high E, the B, the A, and the low E strings all are exactly the same, and then the D string and the G string are exactly the same. So, and then these two are the same. Alright, so you can noodle around in this area and come up with like new licks, new phrases that you otherwise may not have came up with if you were playing your typical licks down here. Alright, so it's a common plateau for guitarists. They play in pentatonic position number 1. They play the same licks, the same phrases over and over, and it all just starts to sound the same after a while. Well, you can kind of come up here and then create new ones because it's just new set of notes to play with, but you're still in the same key. Alright, so let me just give you a sound of how that sounds. So let's come down here to our pentatonic position number 1, and we'll start on the white dot, and then we'll play through until the next white dot. Okay, Okay, so that's the sound of the A natural minor scale. Let's do the same thing up here. Let's start on the white dot and then play through to the next white dot. Alright, so you can see it's the same thing. Now this note right here, I kind of skipped that one, the 8th fret of the B string. It's still part of the key. I just skipped it because it's a repeat note of the 12th fret of the G string. So let me show you. Those two notes are the same, but it's still all part of the key, all right? So you can just kind of noodle around in this area, make up little licks, make up little phrases, and you're going to start coming up with some cool stuff. So let's see how this relates to the pentatonic scale. So if this is pentatonic position number 1 down here, between the 5th and the 8th fret, then pentatonic position number 2 would be found around here. Pentatonic position number 3 is actually the position that falls right within this pattern. All right, so pentatonic position number 3 is here, represented by the yellow dots. Alright, so that's equivalent to playing down here and playing the pentatonic notes within this minor scale pattern. So again, the yellow dots represent the pentatonic notes. Okay, so if you just wanted to go full on pentatonic, then just kind of stick to the pentatonic notes of pentatonic position number 3, which again are represented by the yellow dots. And then if you wanted to make your playing sound more melodic, you could then go ahead and add in the extra notes that aren't yellow dotted notes. Alright, so all those other notes are also available to you if you want to start sounding more melodic. Alright, so next let's take a look at the A minor arpeggio pattern that can be found within this 3-note per string pattern. So the reason that that's important is because when you're down here in your pentatonic position number 1, you tend to end your licks and phrases on notes of the A minor arpeggio, or the A minor chord tones. It's the same thing. You may not be aware of this, but that's what you do, okay? So this note may be a common ending note, 7th fret of the D string. This note, 5th fret of the G string, 5th fret of the B string, 5th fret of the E string. You may also bend this note here a whole step on the 7th fret of the G string, or this note here on the 8th fret of the B string. Why do those notes sound so good within that pattern? It's because they are notes of the A minor arpeggio. So the green dots that you see here represent the notes of the A minor arpeggio. Alright, so when you're doing your licks and phrases and you land on one of those notes as the progression starts over, that's why it sounds good, and that's why guitarists favor those notes, whether or not they are aware of the fact that it's the A minor arpeggio. So you could just find the same thing. You find your A minor arpeggio within this pattern. So that would be found in this shape. Alright, and then you can also throw in these notes as well. So as you're doing your licks and phrases, you might want to try and time it such that you land on, the arpeggio notes. So this note right here is actually the note A. This note right here, 10th fret of the B string, that's your note A. So that's going to, as you saw in the demo, I was landing on that one a lot. But they all work. They're all root, minor third, 5th of the A minor chord. So no matter which one you land on, it's going to sound good. So that's your arpeggio stuff. All right, so now that you know all that stuff about the, this pattern right here, you can kind of go and put put it all together, create your own licks, create your own phrases. You can go full on pentatonic if you want. You can add in the extra notes to sound melodic. And then having an awareness of where the A minor arpeggio is located within this pattern, then you can time your phrases and licks such that you land on notes of the A minor arpeggio. Alright, so all that stuff will hopefully help you to come up with some cool, interesting sounding things. Okay, so now I'm going to give you an opportunity to practice improvising using this new pattern and connecting it with pentatonic position number 1. So this is an improv backing track. I have thousands of others just like this within the full access members of my website, so if you like this, maybe that's something you may be interested in. So essentially it's just the same backing track that I was soloing over in the beginning of this video, and it's going to have a full fretboard diagram on the screen showing you this pentatonic position number 1 along with this new 3-note per string pattern, and then it's going to have yellow dots indicating which notes are pentatonic notes. So if it has a yellow dot on it, it's part of the A minor pentatonic scale. If it doesn't have a yellow dot on it, then it's not part of the minor pentatonic scale, but it's still part of the overall key scale, which is A minor. All right. So again, if you like this backing track, this improv backing track, check out the full access members area of my website. And with that said, have fun with it.